Tupe. I welcome you all to this press conference hosted by Press Information Bureau, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. Uh, we have honor that we have with us the team of Pokkhirajer Dim, the director, Shakorjo Ghoshal. The actor is on the way. He will join us within 5 to 10 minutes. Before we proceed, I would like to request you all. This is going to be live stream on our PIB's YouTube channel. So please keep your mobile phones on silent mode or please keep them switch off. सो पहले तो मैं ये फिल्म की एक बड़ी एक अच्छी कहानी है जब हम बात कर रहे थे डायरेक्टर सर और मैं तब उन्होंने कहा एक साइंस फैंटेसी है ये आप इसका ट्रेलर देखने के बाद आपको पता चलेगा पोक्खीराजर डीम मतलब क्या है तो ये पोक्खीराजर मतलब ये उड़ने वाला घोड़ा है जो सर ने जब मुझे कहा तभी मुझे ये लगा वाओ दिस इज़ वेरी नाइस एंड इंटरेस्टिंग और ये डीम मतलब है एक एग जो होता है तो वो तो मतलब उड़ने वाले घोड़े का अंडा सॉरी मैं आपसे पहले थोड़ा ये जानकारी दे रही ताकि एक इंटरेस्टिंग लग सकता है सभी को तो एक साइंस फैंटेसी है जिसमें एक ट्विस्ट भी आता है तो वो ट्विस्ट क्या है फिर वो पोक्खीराजर डीम का क्या होता है ये सभी जानकारी इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में हम आपके क्वेश्चंस से या सर का जो एक्सपीरियंस है उससे हेक करेंगे बट उसके पहले आई वुड लाइक टू रिक्वेस्ट आवर टेक्निकल टीम टू प्लीज प्ले अ ट्रेलर
আপনি যা বলবেন আমি তাই করব স্যার শুধু আমার অঙ্কটা একটু পার করে দিন
এই বয়সে যারা অঙ্কে ফেল করে তাদের বেশি কাছে নিয়ে আসতে নেই গেট আউট
1000 বছর আগে একটা ইউএফও নেমেছিল গ্রামের জঙ্গলে উড়ে যাওয়ার সময় পক্ষীরাজের ডিম রেখে গেছিল
কি করবে এটা নিয়ে
ঘুষ দেবো
আমার বাবার স্বপ্ন ছিল আমি বিজ্ঞানের জগতে কিছু একটা অবদান রেখে যাই
আমার বাবাও চাইতো আমি বিজ্ঞানী হিসেবে অবদান রেখে যাই
এই কি হচ্ছে এই
চলুন দুজনে মিলে রাখি
বাবু এটা কি
আপনি বলছেন এই প্রিজমটার মধ্যে দিয়ে ইমোশন দেখা যাচ্ছে
এক্স্যাক্টলি
এটার জন্য ভিলেন সাহেব 5 কোটি অব্দি দিতে প্রস্তুত
এই পক্ষীরাজের ডিমটাকে আমাদের বাঁচাতেই হবে
interesting sir what would you like to say about this film by science fantasy
This is a science fantasy film. Actually, to be brief, ये जो कहानी है ये एक it's based on a काल्पनिक जगह आकाशगंज. There's a village called आकाशगंज जहाँ पर एक मैड साइंटिस्ट रहता है उसका नाम है बटब्याल. वो अजीब किस्म का एक गांव के स्कूल में पढ़ाता है वो अजीब किस्म का एक्सपेरिमेंट करता है मतलब वो अगर फ्रिक्शन पढ़ाना हो क्लास 12 और 11 के स्टूडेंट को तो वो जमीन पे ही स्प्रेड्स मोबिल एंड जस्ट waits for other to slip on and then he would practically teach the student that how friction works. To teach gravitation, he would take the students to the apple tree and wait for the apple for the day to fall to give the essence of Newton's theory. He's a very mad teacher. So school headmaster also fed up of him. But he has a backstory. He was an aspiring scientist. He was a brilliant student. And once he got a very precious chance to go to the West to study and do research. But his father, who was actually a scientist, but he never left his country. He was a very country-loving man, and he always believed that to be a noble scientist, you must love your own country. So leaving your own country is not the solution to become a successful scientist. But this man in the young age used to believe that in this country, you can't thrive if you don't go to the West. So he got the chance, but by then the father dies in a mishap. So he comes back and he stays in the village. So the backstory is that his father died because his father was doing a research on a very intricate subject, which was based on the Einstein's theory of general theory of relativity, which suggests that light doesn't travel in a straight line in space. His father was studying on alien microorganisms, and he was scientifically trying to prove that in space there are a lot of place like the moons of Saturn and Jupiter where there's ice. So there are microorganisms who reflects and acts like a strange object theoretically within which light doesn't travel in a straight line. That was his research. But he died. But before dying, that research paper gets missing. So the story, one part comes here. Now, after many years, my hero, Ghoton, is a student of this Akashgunj High School where this Batabyal sir teaches, and he's a mentor of this young fellow who got 0 in maths. So he wants to impress his teacher to take a retest again to get passed. But the teacher was not very much keen to take the retest. By some, by chance, this boy gets into the temple, a very ancient temple inside the village, and finds a strange thing, stone-looking thing. When the boy takes the thing, as we saw in the trailer, within which, if you look on the other person, you can see the emotions. मतलब वो क्या सोच रहे हैं?
Not the image, but the emotions.
Yeah, image of the emotions. मतलब the other person, suppose the person on the other side is angry, but is not showing the anger. If you look through that stone, you can see that the person is angry. Like this. So this boy takes the stone to the teacher, and the teacher experiments with the stone, and he ratifies that this is an alien stone. There's a researcher coming from England. His name is Mr. Villain. He comes from England because he has this news that in India, in a very ancient temple in Akashgunj, there is an alien stone which can read people's mind. And he wants to buy that stone by bribing the village chief. And he wants to take that to their own country like the Britishers did to us. So he wants to repeat that again. So this trio, this little friend of the protagonist and the maths teacher, they want to save the stone from the villain.
So we have the teacher, I guess, with us now. So we welcome the actor of this film, Mr. Anirban Bhattacharya. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, I'm a little
so-
late, but
No problem. Hope you are well now.
yes, I'm fine.
Take care, yeah. So the director sir explained us this little bit of the story, but would you like to add something on that?
No, that's soulfully director's job to explain his films. I have
But your
done my
experience,
part.
sir.
I have done my part on screen, but yes, it was indeed a fantastic journey because if we mark this film as quote unquote film for children, film for students, then this is the first time I'm being a part of this kind of a film. That's a big opportunity because I have raised watching these films by Ray, by other directors around the world, but first time I'm participating in such a film. And Boykunto Batabyal, the character I played, it is a fantastic look. He offered me fantastic characteristics. He offered me, yes, and the sense of comic in Shaukarju's others film. If I mention Rainbow Jelly or Bhootpuri, he used to nurture the world of melancholia through everything, through tragedy, through comedy, through the low part of human lives and the high part, eccentric part of human lives. So that's why I like his film very much, pretty much. In Pokkhirajer Dim also, there is no straight line of comedy or tragedy in the film. Throughout the film is continuously, simultaneously nurturing the sorrow, the happiness, the tragedy, the comedy all along. So it was fantastic to collaborate with him as an actor.
I'm sure that people sitting here are also eager to ask you some questions. So, any questions from the audience?
Hi everyone, my name is Elsa. I am from a local newspaper called Herald. So my question is to director Sir Saukarya Gosal. So unfortunately I didn't get to listen your full story explanation, but I had watched the trailer. And so you find the stone in a temple in a village, right? So it's kind of like you're bringing science fiction to like a ground level and you're planting the story there. So can we expect more of like temple myth or something in the movie with science fiction?
No, actually, the temple in the movie is they're saying in the village that no one knows when the temple was made.
Okay.
No one even knows that the temple was made by humans or not, because no one have seen anyone there is not any record of seeing anyone of making the temple. But there's a very strange looking temple. And if you look at the temple, it actually doesn't look like a temple. It more looks like a spaceship.
Okay.
As if people from our long past, they had this immense knowledge of communicating the other world and creating an architecture of a very modern spaceship, of science spaceship, which looks like a temple. And that was actually made, the myth is that was actually made to hide that stone, precious stone, which can read minds. So this is actually also echoing the glorious past we had. If you see the film, we had shot many scenes where there's a secret door to the chambers of Batabyal Sir's chamber. There's a secret door, and the key is the Veda. So the film suggests that the key of all the secrets of the past that we had, and we had forgotten that. So that is the connection that I want to make. Even if you, while writing the script, I tried to study a bit about the ancient past, and a lot of scientific explanations, like there's a distance between Earth and Sun, Earth and Moon. Strangely, if you go through Vedas, you can find the exact distance the rishis are accounting in Vedas. So it's there. It's very much. It's not a history. It's very much there. It's the reality. So I was trying to inculcate that sense of knowledge that we had, a glorious past, into a modern day science fantasy, which includes the lives of interstellar planet.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank
After listening to this, मुझे एक इच्छा हो रही है कि इसका लोकेशन क्या था?
इसका लोकेशन था बिहार का सिमुलतला में.
क्योंकि ये जगह पाना भी मुश्किल था.
हाँ.
गुड इवनिंग टीम, दिस इज निखिल फ्रॉम ऑल इंडिया रेडियो. मिस्टर घोषाल, मैं आपसे एक सवाल ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, ये जो कहानी आप हमारे सामने पर्दे पर लेकर आए, इसका प्लॉट या इसका थॉट प्रोसेस कैसे आपके मन में आया? कब किसी आइडिया ने आपको फोर्स किया कि आपको इस पर एक मूवी बनानी चाहिए जो साइंस फिक्शन और हमारी जो वेदास में, जैसा आपने भी बताया, सारी चीज़ें हैं वो हो? और एक सवाल मैं एक्टर्स जो हैं हमारे बताए उनसे पूछना चाहता हूँ, आपने इस रोल के लिए क्या क्या तैयारियाँ की और कैसे आपको लगा कि ये रोल आपके लिए बहुत अच्छा होगा?
ना, ये जो एक्चुअली मेरा जो किक पॉइंट था फिल्म का, क्यों ये करे, इसका पीछे एक कहानी है. ये कहानी है कि 1960 में सत्यजीत रे का एक स्क्रिप्ट था. स्क्रिप्ट का नाम था एलियन. वो कोलंबिया पिक्चर्स यूएसए के साथ कोलैबोरेटेड था, एंड it was there was a contract between them. Ray had given a lot of interviews also. तो कोलंबिया पिक्चर्स वो पिक्चर बनाने वाले थे रे के जो रे डायरेक्ट करने वाले थे एलियन के ऊपर. उसका कहानी था कि एक एलियन स्पेसशिप आएगा और सब कुछ होगा. तो हॉलीवुड का ये मानना था कि आप आके यहां पर बनाएं, लेकिन रे का जिद था, अगर मैं बनाऊंगा, मैं इंग्लिश में जरूर बनाऊंगा, लेकिन मैं बनाऊंगा तो इंडिया में ही बनाऊंगा. तो इसी चलते वो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं हो पाए. कुछ साल नहीं, काफी साल बाद, 10 साल बाद या 15 साल बाद रे ने एक पिक्चर देखा. उस पिक्चर का नाम है E.T. वो पिक्चर जब देखा उन्होंने, तो वो इंटरव्यू में कहा he got shocked because it was very similar to his own script, which was then Hollywood. तो उस टाइम रे इतना डिसहार्टेंड हो गया था, वो प्रोजेक्ट ड्रॉप कर दिया. तो ये हम लोग तो बचपन से जानते आ रहे हैं, तो आई एम अ डाई हार्ड फैन. तो मेरा ये बहुत एक दुख था मन में कि जो हमारा जो देश का जो इतना महान एक फिल्म मेकर है, जिसका सपना था कि एक एलियन फिल्म बनाऊंगा जो स्पेसशिप आएगा भारत में, जो यूएसए में आते हैं, जो इंग्लैंड में आते हैं, यूरोप के फिल्म में आते हैं, लेकिन वो बना नहीं पाए. तो मेरा ये बहुत इच्छा था कि मैं अगर किसी दिन ऐसा कुछ बनाऊं तो मैं बनाऊंगा. तो ये फिल्म भी हमने उन लोगों को डेडिकेट किया है. और इस फिल्म में भी एक विलन है जो आके चुराना चाहता है. तो इट इज वेरी आयरनिकल टू हिज जर्नी ऑल्सो, एंड ऑल्सो आवर पास्ट ऑफ द ब्रिटिशर्स.
देखिए सर, मेरा तो काम ही है एक्टिंग करना. तो कोई भी डायरेक्टर मुझे आके बोलेगा कि ये रोल मैं तुमको ऑफर करना चाहता हूँ. But it was a little bit difficult choice. The character Shaukar jo offered me, the Boykunto Batabyal. It was 2 years or 2.5 years back we shot this film. Then I was 36 and a half or 37 years old, and he was offering me a man who is 55, 56, and a strange kind of wig and strange kind of eccentricity in the character. So as an actor, in terms of craft and designing the character, it was a bit difficult, but he made my job more easier because Shokorjo, by the way, apart from the film direction and writing, he's a great sketch artist. He drew all the sets, all the set props, all the character designs by himself. He draw a picture of Boykunto Batabyal that helped me a lot throughout the film, and I got my idea of portraying this character Boykunto Batabyal from that sketch only, primarily. Then हम set में जाते हैं, discussion होती है उसके बाद. और एक the fun part अगर मैं आपको कहना चाहूँ तो ये जो प्रोफेसर का रोल है वो साइंस का प्रोफेसर है. तो एज अ स्टूडेंट साइंस के साथ मेरा रिश्ता थोड़ा, मतलब समझ रहे हैं ना, हाँ, कुछ जमा नहीं. हाँ, तो अभी अभिनेता का यही सबसे बड़ा अपॉर्चुनिटी होता है हम लोगों का, जो हम अपने जिंदगी में कर नहीं पाते हैं. मैथमेटिक्स ठीक तरह से हुआ नहीं, तो फिल्म में रोल मिल गया जहां पर मैं मैथमेटिक्स का ही प्रोफेसर हूं, तो चलो कर लेते हैं. है, अभी कभी पेंटर का रोल मिल जाए, मैं जीवन में कभी एक लाइन भी सीधी तरह से नहीं ड्रॉ कर सका, लेकिन मेरा अगर ऐसा कोई रोल मिल जाए तो बहुत बड़ा पेंटर है, तो वो रोल कर लेना चाहिए ना. जीवन में नहीं जो हो पाते हैं, थ्रू कैरेक्टर्स वी कैन अचीव दैट. सो दैट्स द फन पार्ट ऑफ दिस कैरेक्टर.
I want to add one thing to this, that when I perceive the character Boykunto Batabyal, and my process is like when I write the screenplay, while writing the dialogue, I write my own story, my own screenplay, and then the dialogue part comes. When I write my dialogues, I try to keep actors in mind, because that helps to get the rendition of the dialogue right. So when I was writing the character of Batabyal's dialogue, it came, since he's very acclaimed actor in Bengal, and also he had done a very, very good job in Bollywood also with Rani Mukherjee, Chatterjee vs. Norway. But that apart, he's a very strongly theater background practiced artist. He can twist himself and mold himself very strange. He had done a gamut of characters that I've seen in his life. But what I felt while writing, that all the character I might know, I don't know that whether anyone will agree to my point or not. I felt that he never had done a character which is very innocent like a child. So this character is innocent like a child. He's a madman. He talks, and his headmaster, his principal, is as pissed with him more than the student. So he's very innocent. So I thought that this is a very interesting character that Anirban can mold himself. And the comic pause, which is a very important part in the acting, the comic pause which was required in the character, in my mind, I had no one in my industry to do it. So I had for my own reason, I had gone to him. But then he added one thing. Yes, I had given him a sketch of Batabyal about the look and everything, but he added a body posture to it. That I did not mention, and that worked like a magic. He told me after listening to the script, that and by the way, he's playing two roles also. There's a flashback also where the age is very young, like 35, 36.
Yes.
And also he's playing, then in the real time, he's playing a role of 57 or 58. So there he introduced a body posture, and he said the scientist who is constantly working on the table, standing on the lab table, he would have a sort of stiff neck and kind of thing. And he did that throughout the film. And in Bengal, I don't know that, but whether it happens in other industries or not, in Bengal, we need to shoot about at a stretch of 18 hours, sometimes 20 hours a day. Right. So it happens because there's a lot of constraints. So he is doing that continuously. The reason why is that I was not very sure that whether anyone could do that. And he had done that very, very, soundly.
Thank you.
As Sonirbanji described his relation with science and maths, how was your relation? उसने help किया कुछ
No,
ये project में?
actually, my part is that the love for science. I read science a lot. This film we have dedicated to Satyajit Ray and Stephen Hawking. So I read physics a lot. I'm a very fond of physics and also sort of bioscience. But the love for science came much later. I was a history student. But then a time came, I first saw there was a Discovery series of Stephen Hawking, like Theory of Everything. I saw that. Then I read his book, The Theory of the Big Bang Theory. And it was Stephen Hawking who evoked that love for physics within. And then I really studied very hard physics, and I tried to inculcate that in my writings. And it has some inserts in my other films also. But this film is solely of that.
इसका कल स्क्रीनिंग हुआ है सर, क्या एक्सपीरियंस था?
आज सुबह हुआ मैम।
आज सुबह।
बहुत बहुत अच्छा स्क्रीनिंग, उसके बाद Q&A था, बहुत ही अच्छा। ये जब भी मैं Iffi में आता हूँ, मैं पिछली बार भी मेरा एक फिल्म आया था पैनारोमा में, वो एक हॉरर फैंटेसी था, भूत परी करके, तो इस बार भी है। तो पिछली बार भी मेरा ये था, और इस बार भी मैंने देखा कि यहाँ पर जो है, since many people who are coming to see the film, they are mostly they come for love for cinema. So the Q&A part, that happens very in a deep format. They ask very intricate questions about the technicalities, the spirit of the film, about the manas of the film. So that is very rare in other screenings. So Iffi, anyway, the biggest festival of the country. So everyone, every maker, every director, they covet to come here. I had that privilege to come here. So I think this is a podium that not only offers you great spectrum of your promotion, but also you get to meet with people with a very intricate mind, and they see cinema very seriously. That is very important, I think, for the filmmaker.
Very true. Any questions?
With science fiction, the biggest obstacle is set building and VFX. So how do you overcome that with budget restrictions?
There was a budget restriction, but set is that in Bengal we have some credible artists who can build a very grandiose set of very minimum cost. We had one art director, her name is Nafisa. She did a splendid job, and we had one production designer called Shibaji. Thankfully, he's also from science background. So he helped me to build the lab. And the lab part was very difficult to be made. And that is how we mostly, and this scientist is a sort of indigenous scientist. He makes everything out of scrap because he has no resource in the village. So he makes everything out of scrap with his, he makes a light with a magnetic field. He makes a windmill which creates a light, and a lot of other things. But the VFX part is that since I am from the animation background, I'm also an animator. So this VFX is very clear to me. I know what happens and how things happen. The Photoshop, After Effects, and everything is very clear to me. Maya, Max. So the entire VFX, the huge VFX team, they worked for it as VFX team. So I coordinated with them. What I have felt with the VFX that VFX is not a very hard thing to achieve in India now, because the expertise has gone so high. It is only you need to communicate with the VFX artist, and you have to tell them that how they will do it. If you know the technicalities, how it will work, they can achieve it for you. That is not a problem.
Yes.
So, sir, first of all, congratulations
Thank
on the
you so
movie. And since you said that you are actually a very big fan of Satyajit Ray, and this movie itself is inspired by one of his stories, Alien. So there is a very nice short story by Satyajit Ray, The Scarecrow. I had read it when I was in 12th standard, Mriganko Babu and Abhiram. So you did on science fiction. Would you like to go for a psychology horror movie? And if you go for that movie, for that particular story, would you like to have Anirban sir as Mriganko Babu or Abhiram? That is my question.
I think there's not Mriganko Babu Abhiram. Ray has a fantastic story called Ratan Babu and Shailokta. The story belongs that a man is seeing his alter ego. I would. That is a very a story very close to my heart, and that is a very intricate character. I think Anirban suits that. If I do that, I think that role suits him best.
Thank you for planning a new movie here. Thank you. You instigated
must
that.
go to the producer.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's for Iffi. Yes, any more questions?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yeah, surely.
It's related to an element of the story itself. It was very interesting to know that one of the powers of the stone was to read emotions, because whenever you have a powerful stone or any powerful object, it's about giving the receiver of the object a lot of powers to control everybody else, etc. So what made you choose that particular thing as a power that the stone would have, reading emotions?
That is because the story is such. The story is about, again, I have to go back to our own past. In our ancient theory, we have layers of 7 consciousness, right? So that 7 consciousness depicts the 7 state of your mind. So when I was trying to pull that string of my ancient texts, I found there's a very interesting zone which is almost left unexplored about the exploring 7 consciousness. So it is actually in our modern language is saying emotions, but if you see the film, and there's a point where the madman, who is a sage kind of a man who is guarding the temple, this Batabyal sir sees 7 states of his consciousness through that stone, and also nothing, because our text also suggests that shunya, the theory of shunya, that you can go empty. Human mind can go empty. Primarily, West does not believe in mind system. And secondly, they don't believe about going empty. So here the scientists say that human mind can go empty. This is a test study. So through this stone, it is not about revealing the 7 consciousness of human mind that has been stated in our old text. Also, it is about the state of shunya, before the state of nirvana. It is also there.
मेरा एक सवाल है.
Yes, sir.
क्या भविष्य में आपका इस मूवी को कभी हिंदी में पैराडब करके लॉन्च करने का भी प्लान?
सर, ये तो प्रोड्यूसर का कॉल है, क्योंकि मेरा एक जोक है, क्योंकि अगर एक बिल्डिंग खड़ा किया जाए तो आर्किटेक्ट होता है डायरेक्टर, लेकिन बिल्डर तो प्रोड्यूसर ही होता है. उसका मकान है, वो अगर चाहे तो बना सकते हैं सर. मेरा तो इच्छा होगा.
I would like to ask Anirban ji,
Yes.
what is your experience during this Iffi in relation with your film?
Oh, this is nice. This is my first time in Iffi. It is overwhelming. I'm really honored and I'm really happy to be here with Shoukarjo. And yes, we experienced very, vibrant film festival in Kolkata, Kolkata Film Festival.
Yeah.
Apart from that, this is my second exposure as a film festival in India. This is very vibrant, this is very nice, and since I belong from a film fraternity of India in a part, so it's lovely to be here with people who are eager to see cinema and discussing cinema all the day, all the night, and the बाहर जो माहौल बना हुआ है वो भी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, क्योंकि अगर हम वैसे एक नॉर्मल डे पे एज अ व्यूअर आइनॉक्स में जाते हैं तो ऐसा तो माहौल नहीं दिख पाता है. तो दैट्स द फन पार्ट, दैट्स द हैप्पी पार्ट ऑफ अ फेस्टिवल. एंड आई एम वेरी हैप्पी that in our country, lot of film festivals, lot of film enthusiasts are there, and people are thinking about film, people are talking about film. This is nice to be here.
Any questions? हम जब बात कर रहे थे तो आपने एक बात कही थी रिगार्डिंग दैट आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट. तो आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट का बीच में लाना ये कैसे सूझा आपको?
ये एक्चुअली जो अगर ये जो फिल्म में आप देखोगे तो इसमें एक ड्रीम है, फिल्म के अंदर एक ड्रीम है, तो बहुत चीजें जो घटती है ये कैरेक्टर के ड्रीम में घटता है.
It's like a twist.
It's a twist. He gets clue about lot of things in dreams. Like Ramanujan, the famous mathematician, he got his calculations, a lot of formulas in dreams, and he's a very revered mathematician for the West. Since we need a ratification of the West to revere someone, so I'm revering Ramanujan. There are many other people who had not been to West, but they also did that. But anyway, so the dream plays a very important role, and we need a villain for this. So in our Indian consciousness, we heard so much about our own glorious part being stolen by the Britishers. So when a boy would dream of something of his own, a precious thing of his country is being stolen, I think unconsciously for an Indian child, the Britishers would come. So this is a British archetype. And ironically, I just mentioned earlier that for Ray also it happened. He had gone, if he had not gone to the West, perhaps the film already would have made. Yeah. But he had gone to the West and the script got stolen. And then a famous film came, and it was a very successful and very fine film, though the director did not agree to the fact. But if you go through and research a lot, you can find that lots of mimeograph copies of Rays were there in the Hollywood Columbia studio, where during the student apprenticeship, Spielberg used to go. So there are a lot of theory that perhaps it has been stolen. So I thought this would be a very interesting twist also to get that thing also included. So yes, we have been, duped a lot by the West. So why not show them?
Yes. On this note, we are at the end of this press conference. I would like to thank you all our panelists and all of you. Like your stone, जो स्टोन है वो इमोशंस दिखाता है, वैसे ही हमारे इमोशंस दिखाने के लिए हमारे पास एक मोमेंटो है. I would like to request all of you to come forward.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.